guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a first look plus on-feet video of the brand new 2015 Adidas F10 in the solar red colorway. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras. So let me get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at the second takedown model in the new F50 lineup for 2015. So at the top, you have the synthetic F50 Adizero, which retails for $220. Below that, you have the F30 with a $100 retail, and then below the F30, you have the F10, which retails for $70 US. So definitely is more of a budget-oriented model, which shows in the overall quality. Now in today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the tech specs, at the overall quality of the shoe, how these things fit and feel, and of course the visuals. So if you are interested in learning more about the F10, please stick around. If you're interested in a pair for yourself, check out the first link down below in the description. It'll take you to the review page on my website, where you will find buy it now links in all the available colorways, along with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal retail price. So again, first link down below in the description if you're interested in a pair. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. Since the F10 is part of the F50 line, which is all about being as lightweight as possible, you're probably wondering how light the F10 is versus the top end F50 Adizero, and we're going to find out right now in real time using this scale and of course the F10 as well as the F50. Keep in mind these are both in brand new condition and both in the exact same size 9 US. So we'll start off with the top of the line F50 Adizero, throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.15 ounces, which is the equivalent of 203 grams. So remember that number, 7.15 ounces. Pull that off the scale and we'll throw on the F10s, which do feel significantly more heavy in hand as well as on feet. Throw it on the scale and you can see that they weigh in at 9.1 ounces. So essentially 2 ounces more in comparison to the top end F50. And in grams, that is 257 grams. So as far as weight goes, the F10 is really not a lightweight shoe by any means. At 9 ounces, it certainly isn't heavy, but if you're looking for that ultra lightweight, almost weightless sensation from your shoes, the F10 being a budget model, I guess you can't expect too much, but it certainly won't offer that type of a feel, or at least a similar feel in terms of weight when compared to that top end F50 Adizero. So just keep that in mind if you are planning on purchasing something from the F50 line that is a takedown, because the takedown models just aren't as light as the top end ones. As far as tech specs go, the F10 is certainly not going to blow you away with its quality, but that is to be expected given that it's a second tier budget oriented takedown model. With that being said, I will say that this does seem to be a lot nicer quality in comparison to past year's F10s, and as far as performance elements that it shares with the top end F50 Adizero, it's going to be the stud pattern, and that's pretty much it. The upper is made from what Adidas is calling Bravo synthetic. Again, there's nothing special about it. It's a fairly run-of-the-mill low-end synthetic material. It's soft and flexible enough. It's not particularly thin. It has a pretty chunky liner to it. It'll feel comfortable on your foot, but as far as touch is concerned, it is nothing special by any means, but it certainly will get the job done, and it should hold up very well, which is kind of what these lower-end takedown models are all about. As far as the finish on the upper is concerned, it does have a slightly grippy finish to it due to the graphic they've printed on top. But again, nothing at all the same as what you're going to find on the top end F50 and even the F30 model above this particular shoe. Laces run down the middle, as you guys can see. The tongue is made from a fairly cheap feeling kind of foam-based synthetic material that, like I said, nothing spectacular as far as quality is concerned. The laces are particularly cheap, as you guys can see. It's almost like a cotton type of material, and then it does have the silver kind of running through it. Just really, really thick, almost like a lace you would find on a skateboard shoe or something like that. They just don't look that great, but I guess they will get the job done. It does have the lower cut in the heel, as you guys can see. Internal plastic heel counter, which is similar to what you're going to find on that top end F50. And the heel liner is also pretty much the same as what you're going to find on the top end F50 as well. The insole is non-removable, just like the F30, which is a bit of a disappointment, but to be expected for a shoe in this particular price range. And as far as the sole plate and stud pattern is concerned, it is the exact same sole plate construction as what you're going to find on the F30, which does retail for $30 more. But as you guys can see, it's all solid plastic and doesn't have as premium a finish as far as appearance is concerned. but as far as performance goes, it's going to feel absolutely identical. And then you do get, of course, the new F50 Adizero stud pattern, which does not change regardless of which takedown model you buy. So you get the 3 studs in the heel, a whole bunch of studs in the forefoot, kind of 6 main studs, and then these very sharp, very aggressive kind of bladed studs scattered throughout the entire forefoot area. It really does provide some good aggressive traction, and it's one of the standout features of the new 2015 F50, probably the most interesting of all the changes that they've made to the F50 line. So that is something that you will maintain on the F10, as you'll find on that top end F50. But overall, like I said, it's not a bad shoe. It's certainly nicer than what we've seen from the F10 in past years, but there's nothing that is particularly attractive about this shoe as an option when it comes to quality and the type of materials that Adidas has implemented here. Of course, this shoe's main competitor is going to be this guy right here, the Nike Mercurial Victory 5. F10 has a retail price of $70 US, whereas the Mercurial Victory 5 retails for $10 more at $80 US. And as far as side-by-side comparisons go, that there will be a comparison video in the future. But what I can tell you right now is for the extra $10, the Victory does have a nicer synthetic material in my opinion. It's also going to be about an ounce lighter as well. So something to keep in mind if you were looking at the brand new F10 is that the Victory 5, for a shoe that is in the pretty much the exact same price range plus an extra $10, it may be worth a look for this particular shoe over the new F10. So that's pretty much it as far as tech specs and what you should know regarding the performance. Next, let's take a closer look at the overall appearance of the shoe and see how it differs from that top end model. As far as the visuals are concerned, a lot of second tier takedown models can look very cheap, but actually the F10 looks a lot like the top end F50. From a distance, you would have a hard time telling the difference. It has the same graphic on top. Obviously the laces are a little bit different. You have the chrome in the heel liner, the Adidas stripes on the tongue, as well as the back of the heel. You do have your F10 branding here as opposed to the Adizero branding or F30 branding that you'd find on the other 2 models in the line. Adidas branding in white on the medial side. And like I mentioned earlier, in comparison to the F50 and the F30, which will have kind of translucent plastic sole plates, this one is solid plastic, so it doesn't look quite as premium, but while you're standing up on the field, it's not something that you're actually going to be able to see anyways. So from a distance at least, this shoe looks a lot like the top end model, which is nice. It doesn't look cheap, which can be the case with a lot of, like I said, second tier takedown models. But let me know your opinions on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the on feet portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. Alright, so here is a look at the F10s on feet. On my left foot I have the stock laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of reflective neon yellow SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, check out the website sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a direct link to that down below in the description of this video. Now, as far as how these things fit and feel on feet, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, they feel cheap. There's nothing about this shoe that oozes quality, both in terms of when you're holding it in your hands, as well as the way that they fit and feel on your feet. Comfort is below average in my opinion. The quality of the synthetic is noticeably less than what you're going to find on the F30 and F50 models, which do feature much softer, much thinner hybrid touch synthetic uppers. And overall, what I don't like about the F10 is the heel. It does have that kind of notoriously shallow feel in the heel area of the shoe, like we used to see from previous F10 models. It certainly isn't as bad, and it's not necessarily a major problem with the shoe, but it does feel, like I said, a lot worse than what you're going to find from the F30 as well as the F50 models. As far as the fit goes, it's a tighter fitting shoe. It does have the exact same shape to the sole plate, but like I said, because the synthetic material is just not as good, it almost has an uncomfortable, restrictive feel on your feet, especially if you have them with a tight fit. They're going to be suitable for most foot types. If you have really, really wide feet, it probably is best to stay away or at least try them on before purchasing, because these will be available at most regular stores that do sell soccer cleats. But overall, I think they will fit most people. Just keep in mind again that it isn't the widest shoe out there. As far as sizing is concerned, I am wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit in the length seems to be pretty snug. These almost seem to run about a quarter size smaller than the higher end models in the line. Again, mainly due to the synthetic material just being a lot stiffer and not as nice overall. So while I could get away with going true to size, I don't think it would be a bad idea for other people who perhaps don't want a super tight fit to go a half size up. So it really depends on what you want. If you're looking for that tight fit, stay true to size, whereas if you're looking for something with a little bit more breathing room, you can safely go a half size up in the F10 just based on how the upper feels against your foot. Alright guys, that's it for my first impressions of the new Adidas F10. Overall, there's nothing here to get excited about. The only trickle down feature coming from the top end F50 is of course the stud pattern, which you're also going to find on the F30 model. So that is definitely a positive aspect of the new F10, but everything else about this shoe just isn't very good. The quality of the upper is well below average in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of how these things fit and feel on your feet. They aren't particularly comfortable, and most importantly, especially considering this is part of the F50 lineup, it isn't actually a lightweight shoe either. So for the full $70 retail price, I can't say that I recommend these. Like I mentioned earlier, I think that the Victory 5, even though it retails for $10 more, is a better quality second tier takedown model if that is what you're looking for. But with any shoe in the $70 to $80 price range, don't settle for second tier takedown models at full retail. Always take a look at all of your options. Always consider what is on sale, because you can very often find an older colorway, an older model of a higher end shoe for the same price, sometimes even less, that is going to be much better quality than a second tier takedown model at full retail. So just keep that in mind. If you guys do want more information on this particular shoe, check out the review page on my website, soccerreviewsforyou.com. It'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you will find the high quality images of this shoe that I took myself, as well as buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you will be able to pick these up below their normal retail price if that is something that you're interested in doing. If you have any questions regarding the F10, leave them down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see on the channel, leave those suggestions down below as well, and I definitely will take a look at everything you guys have to say. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.